Hey everybody, welcome back to BigRedEDC and welcome to the first edition of JB on EDC of 2025. First off, I just want to wish all of you a very happy, healthy, and prosperous new year for sure. But so how are we going to start off 2025? Well, we're going to start off by talking about some of my favorites of 2024. Why not? Because, I mean, you know, this time of year, it's what's out there. It's what everybody's doing on YouTube, right? I'm not calling it, this is the best of this and this is the best of that. I'm just calling it some of my favorites that I've seen through 2024. There is, however, one, you know, there will be one best of. We'll just put it that way. There will be one best of. I'm not sure how I'm going to word it yet. I've been thinking about this for quite a while. Well, since I started thinking about doing this video, I really wasn't even going to do one. But I was like, no, we need to do one. So at the end, I'm going to show you some of my favorites for sure. And at the end, we'll get to one best of because honestly, I just couldn't deny it. And you may agree, you may disagree. That's fine. Whatever. It is definitely my best. It gets the title of Best of 2024 in my book. So, let's get to the tabletop, guys, and we'll start looking at some of my favorites. All right, guys, so this is how it's gonna work. You know, like I said, I've broken these down into some of my favorites. Some of them are favorites out of certain brands. Some of them are favorites kind of by price range. And others are just kind of favorites of what they are. You know, yeah. Now, this is by far not an all-inclusive list of anything, guys. It would be way too long. But so what these first, what do I got here? First, probably 3 are going to be by brand. So when I say the brand, kind of think, see if you can guess. And it's not broken down into model. It's broken down into model and cover material, handle material. You know, like some knives drop 4 of a certain model. Well, I've pinned it down to a specific knife out of that model. So, okay, enough of that. But I had to throw this one out there because it has the channel name on it. And it was a gift, and by far one of my favorites. Now, I've received many gifts from many wonderful, wonderful people. And those are all my favorites, and those knives will never leave my collection. So, we're going to start off. You guys know I'm a Finch guy. So I got to do my favorite Finch of 2024. So think about it. What do you think my favorite Finch would be? Now, this guy, not the model, but the handle material got released this year. And this one was number 2 out of the Finch knives. And this was between this one and the one that actually is my favorite. The hardest decision out of any of these I'm going to show you by far. The colors of this 1929, the abalone on it, is absolutely fantastic. I love it. Absolutely love it. But it came in a very, 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 very close second place. My favorite Finch of 2024. Yep. The olive wood pipeline. So why this one? It's not even red. And there was quite a few red Finches come out this year. Why not red? Well, I mean, you guys know me. I've been collecting Finch since they started, for the most part. And the inspiration, the cover materials that go with the name and the inspiration, it just all goes together for me when it comes to Finch. And this beautiful olive wood looks like a gorgeous, gorgeous surfboard. The blade shaped, you know, like a surfboard. And you guys know I like the Sodbuster-ish, Sodbuster-esque type pattern, and a nice drop point, spear point blade. I'm really, really starting to like wooden covers for sure. And just everything about this knife it embodies what I like about Finch. And you might not have thought it would have been the pipeline. And I think I've said it now 3 or 4 times maybe. And I've said it right every time. So those of you that know, I'm very proud of that. Those of you that don't, I will definitely save you the trouble. But yeah, favorite Finch, 2024, olive wood pipeline. Very nice. So, RoseCraft blades, guys. Well, if you've watched the channel anytime recently, this one's probably going to be a pretty easy one for you. Again, RoseCraft has come out with so many beautiful, gorgeous knives. And this one won it out. It's the yellow sandalwood farmhand. And it mimics a couple of reasons why the olive wood pipeline won out. It's that, again, that farmhand or sodbuster-esque blade or pattern, I mean. The grain work along with the checkering on this is absolutely fantastic. The grain pattern, the checkering, and just that farmhand style knife is one of my absolute favorites. And I think Andy knocked it out of the park with this one. I mean, there was some beautiful RoseCrafts come out this year. I mean, you know, the Nolichucky, the Otter Creek Barlow, gorgeous knife. The Beaver Creek Barlow in gray. You guys know I like Barlows. But this one just, I mean, the minute I got it, I was like, oh, yes. And again, it's not even red. Now, there will be a couple of red knives in here. So, you know, couldn't leave the red out altogether. But anyway, this RoseCraft farmhand, yeah, without a doubt, my favorite RoseCraft. Ruff Rider Reserve. You guys know I'm a big fan of Ruff Rider Reserve. I have several of them. Well, one came out this year that, man, it was a reiteration of probably my favorite one so far. And that, of course, would have to be the red jigged bone 17 Barlow. Barlow also being one of my absolute favorite slip joint patterns. Probably, if the farmhand is number 1, this is number 1.1. Or 1.2, maybe. But the 17 Barlow was by far, has been ever since the original came out. I mean, we're up to like Ruff Rider 50 now, pretty close to it. And this is just a reiteration of a re-release of the 17 Barlow, but in that red jig bone. And love that spear point blade. Love the swedge on it. It's just a very, very good looking knife, in my opinion. Definitely, by far, my favorite Ruff Rider Reserve. Okay, so that kind of ends by brand. Let's go, probably one of my favorite budget knives. And by budget, I'm saying less than $50. Now, there was a re-release of this one at the end of the year. That was a little over $50. And I really like it. I don't happen to have one in my hands right now, but I do have this one. And this is the QSP Canary. And yes, it has the speed holes. Am I a big fan of speed holes? Normally, no. But this knife, they absolutely do not bother me one bit, because this little EDC knife is absolutely fantastic. It's 14C28N. It fits my hand like a glove. It's got a great little action. QSP has just been knocking it out of the park, not only with their models, but with all their OEM work, because, well, they do most of Finch's OEM work, and they're top-notch. But this, I absolutely love this knife. Now, it did come out with the glide lock, like I previously mentioned. It's a little bit over $50. That one, I would have to say, did eclipse the original Canary for me, because I prefer it keeps my fingers out of the cutting path, and I absolutely like that. I do not have one on me right now. I actually, the one that was sent out for review, you guys know me, most of those knives get given away. So it got given away. I haven't got another glide lock Canary in my collection. I foresee that happening at some point. But the Canary, yes, definitely one of my favorite budget knives of 2024. Now let's go fixed blade, because that's what it is. It's just a fixed blade. It's not. It didn't really count it as budget or anything like that. And of course, it's going to be the Kubi Dust Devil. Of course, this is a design collaboration with our good friend KC from Tempest Knives. And I chose it. I did not choose it for this, because I still need to get soft loops for this darn thing. I do not like really this style of clip. But the knife, it is an excellent EDC fixed blade. It's a good size for me, because we've got enough blade length that it pretty much cuts everything I want it to cut at work, the ropes and everything that I cut. It fits absolutely terrifically in my hand. And I did send this one out, and we've got a Freak Show EDC special acid wash on it that I think just absolutely, of course, you guys know I love the red micarta, but that, I think it just complements that micarta so very well. And it's just all the little nuances and lines and splotches and whatever. I think it looks really fantastic. It is a great little EDC fixed blade. It is by far my favorite fixed blade that I've seen. You guys know I don't really get into the larger fixed blades, but, and yeah, 100% my favorite fixed blade of 2024. Now, I do have, I guess I should have said production fixed blade, because I do have another fixed blade over here, but it's kind of my favorite custom knife. Imagine that. Yes, this is my Aries EDC Cardinal. Gorgeous. Look at that resin. Again, a beautiful wash on that blade. It comes with this awesome, there's my soft loop. Comes with this awesome, and he even picked out, look at this Kydex, man. When he did it, it's got fish bones on it. Yes, I love to fish. That was just a really cool addition. Again, a great little fixed blade. Now, it's a little short for what I do at work, but when I just want to pop a little fixed blade, this is by far my favorite. So this would have to be my favorite custom knife of 2024. There may not been a lot of them. This one is definitely my favorite, without a doubt. So now we just got a couple left. Just a couple premium knives that really impressed me. Now this first one is, and I went with premium because, well, they're a higher price, you know? So the first one is a mini version of a knife you all know I love to death. Any ideas? It just happens to come from one of my favorite designers. But, yes, this is the mini Rosalinda from Monterey Bay. Absolutely love this. I love the full-size Rosalinda. Just the look of it and the feel of it. And this mini, it's just a smaller version And I absolutely love it. 100%. Nice drop. Nice pop. I like how they've got the cutout for the thumb stud. Just a wonderful, wonderful knife. And yep, right there, Monterey Bay. Very cool. Love that knife. My goodness. Now, this one really, really surprised me. It came out of Blade Show West, and it really kind of took me by surprise, but it ended up being one of my favorites. And this, of course, is the Tacom Unnamed. It's got kind of a wild blade. You know, it's got curves. It's also got a little bit of wild to it. But this belly, the action is absolutely fantastic. The handle cradles my hand so nicely. It fits like a glove. The clip, not even remotely an issue. And I don't know. It ended up being, went back, looking through all my videos, and I'm like, yeah, you know, cannot forget the Tacom Unnamed. It's unnamed. That's the name. But man, golly, the feel. And you know, I've said that many, many times. These knives that just cradle, you know, it's that perfect, you know, right about, I mean, it's that perfect 3.5 inch. You know, I'll bring it down here, that 3.5 inch. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect for my hand. It feels absolutely wonderful. And it had to make it because it was such an awesome surprise for me. 100%. 100%. Now, like I said, this is by far not all-encompassing because there's so many favorites. But I did tell you in the beginning that I was going to kind of do, I got to zoom out a bit, I was going to kind of do a best of. So, for this, I'm calling it the best production company of 2024. In my opinion, of course. For whatever that's worth. You know what I mean? But to me, this company stood out without, it wasn't even close. And no, guys, it's not Finch. I love my Finch knives. But for what I'm about to show you, I hope you can understand why. Because my best production company, I have to do it like this, guys, of 2024, and I got to zoom out even more, and all of these are still in there, has to be RoseCraft blades. It just has to be. I mean, guys, 22, and man, I've counted and went back and counted again. 22 models in 35 different handle materials released in 2024. And I'm just not talking about knives. I'm talking about some gorgeous. I've already told you the farmhand just blew me away. But, and this right now, I mean, this is only the slip joints. I do have some of the moderns here. I do not have them all with me. But their slip joint releases were absolutely insane this year. And if you saw my video this morning, and if you haven't, go look at it, please, because RoseCraft is starting off 2025 on day 1 with a release. So, I'm just going to try to go through this real quick. In February, you had the Little Riverbend Skinner, you had the Cane Creek Jack, you had the Obed Creek Bow Trapper, You had the Savage Creek gun stock. Then in April, the Briar Patch came out. The original Nola Chucky Jack. Then in May, you had the Beaver Creek Barlow in the gray bone. Then it was right in that May-June time frame. You had the 2 new versions of the Loosahatchee Jack in red and yellow sandalwood. You had the Savage Creek Gunstock in Stag. Roughly about that same time. The Sequatchie River Muskrat. The the Otter Creek Barlow came out. That yellow sandalwood. The French Broadjacks in the, that was black sandalwood and rosewood. Yes, black sandalwood and rosewood. Then you had the Tenasseee Lake Teardrop. The Moose. The Mosquito Lake Moose. Then you had the Cane Creek in rosewood come out. And I know this is, I had to get back this far. You had the 2 new Zambezi models in the new cover materials come out in the rosewood and the blue micarta. Then, of course, you had the Stinking Creek Sowbelly in the black sandalwood and the Stag. Yes, black sandalwood and Stag. Then you had the Nola Chucky Jack, the re-release of the Nola Chucky Jack in Stag. Then we had the Senator. The Senators came out before the Stag did in October. But anyway, you had the Senators come out in red sandalwood and Stag. Then the Loom Fixer, the Lick Creek Loom Fixer in the Rose Madder Red Bone. I hope you can see him good. And then the Rosewood as well. The Rosewood, man, they found some fantastic Rosewood. And then rounding out December, you had the Farmhand, which became my absolute favorite, as you've already heard. But not only that, they had some modern releases. Not a lot. We had the Bowfin. I have this one. I do have the Bowfin here. Love the way this one feels in hand. You had the Easton. It also came out. You had the Walleye Swags design come out in 2 different handle materials. And then you had this guy, the Clinch River. And it came out, the Clinch River Button Lock, I should say. And it came out in 3 handle materials. But that is including the 22 models and 35 covers. That is traditional slip joint and the moderns. There's, guys, it was hands down, RoseCraft Blades, best production knife company of 2024 for me. There was no competition at all. And like I said, please go watch my video from this morning because they are starting off 2025 on day 1. And I can only imagine. Now, of course, a lot goes into this production line, I totally get that. I understand that. But to have all this come together, I mean, you've got to be on the ball. And the gorgeous designs, Andy, my goodness. Wow. So, I don't think it can get much better than that, guys. I really don't. But I hope you enjoyed this. I know it's long. I'm sorry. I tried to get through it as fast as I can. That's why I only did as many as I did. And then I had to finish with this. This is just, it's absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. And I so look forward to what can happen in 2025. Another little quick, look back at 2024. I got to go to all the major shows. I got to go to SHOT Show, all 3 Blade shows. And I'm so glad I did because this year, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to make a show this year. I'm hoping, Blade Show West for sure just because it's close. SHOT Show will be coming up here in a couple of weeks. I'm not making that. Blade Show West, or Texas, Atlanta, I don't know. the way our work schedule looks like, it's just jam-packed. So who knows? So 2024 was an absolutely fantastic year in the EDC world. Of course, well, here, I'll just, yeah, RoseCraft decided to start carrying branded slips too. So there you go. Just more from them. But anyway, you know, there were some hardships in 2024 too. My mom passed away. I found out I got diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. So, you know, life is life and we have to live it. And we lost some good friends in 2024. And we're definitely remembering them for sure. And looking forward to making new friends in 2025. So thanks a lot, guys. I greatly, greatly appreciate every single one of you. As always, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Like, subscribe, leave me that comment. You know I love talking to you. Until next time, guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.